Did you just spend $500 on a brand new Tearlament deck but have no idea how to play? Well, this video is for you. What's going on, guys? My name is Susu from Head-to-Head Battles, and in today's episode, we're going to be going over the Tearlament combos card by card and kind of the theory behind them as well. If you guys like content like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, hit that notification bell down below, and comment down below if I missed a combo, if I did any wrong, or if your combos are just simply better. And before we get into the combos, guys, if you guys need deck boxes, play mats, or sleeves, head over to HeadtoHeadBattles.com and pick up your merch right now. But without further ado, let's get into combo number one. All right, so for the first combo, I'm basically going to show you what would happen if you only started with one card. Now, obviously, this is never going to happen. And on top of that, this deck is RNG based, but let's see how we do, okay? So we're going to activate Primeval Planet Paralino using its effect to add a Tearlament's Rhinoheart to our hand. And we're going to shuffle like it's a real match because I want to make sure the RNG aspect is there, okay? So we're going to normal summon Tearlament Rhinoheart, and this card will Foolish Burial a Tearlament card into the graveyard. We'll say that this is our graveyard, and we'll Foolish Tearlaments Merrily. Now, we're going to use Merrily effect in the graveyard to use itself and the Rhinoheart to go into a Tearlament's Kit Kalos. Now, on summon, this card will add you any Tearlament card or Foolish Burial it, but for combo's sake, we're going to add Tearlament's Meta Noise to our hand, okay? So, here we have the Kit Kalos on the field, and Meta Noise needs a Tearlament monster or a Visa Starfrost for it to be able to, use itself. So we're going to set the Meta Noise, and on our opponent's turn, let's say our opponent normal summons or whatever, we're going to activate Tearlament's Meta Noise. We will Book of Moon their monster, and then we can send maybe Tearlament's Siren into the graveyard, right? So when Siren gets sent to the graveyard, we can use its effect to fusion summon using the Kit Kalos and itself to summon out Predaplant Drago Stapelia. Now, Drago Stapelia is a monster negate plus a level modulator, so really good against a sprite matchup. So when your opponent normal summons Swapfrog, you can use Drago Stapelia to negate its effects and turn it into a level 1. So by this time in the combo, they have a Book of Moon monster, and they also went -1 in the hand to summon Swapfrog, but now that Swapfrog is negated and the level 1, which means if they have any sprites in their hand, they cannot summon them from their hand. So this one card combo alone could literally FTK the entire sprite board, okay? Let's move over to combo number 2. All right, boys, real quick. I know all the combos are starting off with Rhinoheart, but there are literally a million ways you can start your combos, and that would be a 3-hour video. So I want you to keep in mind as we move on to the next combo that this is the most simplest way to kind of start your combo where RNG really isn't a factor on your starting play. All right, so back into combo number 2. All right, so for combo number 2, let's see what happens if we open the field spell plus another card. In this case, it's going to be in Merrily. Now, we're going to activate Primeval Planet Paralino, which will add us a Tearlament's Rhinoheart to our hand. So it's like almost like the first combo, right? We're gonna normal summon the Rhinoheart, and this will be able to dump a Merrily into the graveyard. Okay, so Merrily, when it's sent to graveyard, will activate its effects, so we can use the Merrily and the Rhinoheart to summon out Kit Kalos. Now, on summon, Kit Kalos will grab us a Tearlament's Meta Noise, and we are going to shuffle because we want to keep this as RNG as possible. All right, because the combo is going to get a bit more complex here, hopefully. All right, so from here on, what we can do is we can go Kit Kalos effect, target herself, which will allow us to special summon the Merrily, and then the Kit Kalos goes to graveyard. Okay, so I'm going to put my hand up here for now. Now, we can go Chainlink 1 Kit Kalos, Chainlink 2 Merrily, because if we were to get ashed on either one of these, I'd rather get ashed on the mill 3 than the mill 5, okay? But let's say we're going to mill 8 here, okay? So we're going to go mill 1, so Siren, Paralino, and Squamata for the Merrily, and then for Kit Kalos we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so our hand is pretty stacked. So now let's call our Chainlinks properly. Now we can use the Siren and the Hopness because we haven't used them yet, but we also have the Squamata that we can use. So we're gonna go Chainlink 1 Hopness, Chainlink 2 Siren, and Chainlink 3 Squamata. Squamata is going to send to the graveyard our Shaddoll Beast, and then Siren will be able to use this and the Kit Kalos to summon out a Drago Stapelia. The Hopness can use itself and the Squamata, and then summon out El Shaddoll Winda, okay? And now we can use Beast effect to draw 1 card, so that's kind of insane, and we still have a Meta Noise in our hand. So let's shuffle our shuffle our deck, and then go to draw one card, okay? So we're going to cut. We're going to draw one card. It's King of the Swamp, which is pretty good. Let's put our graveyard off screen. And then this is our hand, okay? Now, from here, we can set the Tearlament's meta noise and pass our turn. And on our opponent's turn, what we can do is we can Book of Moon, their normal summon, dump into the graveyard. Any Tearlament monster will dump merely. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, you can. Okay. So we're going to go merely effect using the King of the Swamp and the merely to go into a Kaliga. So now our end board with 2 cards is a Book of Moon monster on your opponent's side of the field. They're under Winda, they're under Kaliga, and they have basically one monster effect that they can activate that we can negate with Drago Stapelia. So this is off of 2 cards, literally 2 cards. And if you got lucky, you could have eaten an Ash and still probably ended on everything but maybe the Kaliga. All right, so let's move over to combo number 3. All right, so for combo number 3, let's draw 3 cards. So Branded Fusion on top of everything else and see where this can get us. Okay, so we're going to activate Paralino, which will allow us to grab a Tearlament Rhino Heart. Okay, so now we're going to shuffle. We're going to normal summon the Rhino Heart using its effect to, let's say, dump a Hopness now. So we're going to dump the Hopness. So we're going to use the Hopness effect to use itself and the Rhino Heart to place it on the bottom to summon Tearlament's Kit Kalos. We're going to use Kit Kalos effect to add to our hand a Tearlament Meta Noise. So this isn't the only combo, but this is probably the most simple line that you can go and probably the most foolproof, okay? So the combo lines do differ, and if you guys do want to see more nuances and you know, kind of more the intricacies of the deck, you guys can head over to twitch.tv/HeadtoHead and watch me play this deck live, all right? So we're going to add a Meta Noise to our hand here, and from here, instead of going Kit Kalos effect on field, we're going to activate Branded Fusion, okay? So Branded Fusion is going to send to our graveyard a Fallen of Albash and a Squamata, okay? So we're going to be summoning out off of the Branded Fusion a Lubellion. Now, Lubellion, we're not going to be using its effects. We're going to keep it on the field to be able to use it for a Drago Stapelia maybe later on. But we are going to activate Squamata, which will dump a Beast into our graveyard, which will allow us to draw a card. So we're going to dump Beast. So the reason we do this is because we want to kind of load our graveyard as much as we can, because the more that's in our graveyard, the more that we get to play. All right, so we're going to cut and draw, and we have drawn another Branded Fusion. So a dead card, but it is A-okay. So here, we're going to go Kit Kalos effect, summoning out the merely, sending itself to the graveyard. And now we're going to go Chainlink 1, Kit Kalos, Chainlink 2, merely. So let's mill 8 cards. So let me shuffle one more time. Just so you know, there are no naysayers in the comment section. So we'll shuffle, cut in half, and let's proceed to mill 8. So we've already used Hopness, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's go, 7, and 8. Okay, so here we do have the Siren that we can use and the Sulic, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to chain block the Sulic with the Siren. So we're going to go Chainlink 1, Sulic, Chainlink 2, Siren. So Siren will be able to use itself and the Kit Kalos, right? We're going to use itself and the Kit Kalos to go into a Drago Stapelia here. And then off of the Sulic, what we can do is we can add a, let's add, we've already normal summoned already, so let's add a Hopness for next turn, okay? Because Hopness is sort of kind of like an interruption on your opponent's turn. So we have Hopness, Meta Noise, and Branded Fusion. So we're going to set the Meta Noise here. And from here on out, our graveyard is really stacked. So on our opponent's turn, we're going to activate the Meta Noise, which we will be able to send a Siren to the graveyard using its effect. So now we can use Siren, and let's put back the Beast. So we can use Siren and the Beast, put these to the bottom of the deck, and make a Winda. So realistically speaking, okay, you do have a Hopness in the hand. So let's say we activate Hopness, it'll summon itself, and it'll mill another 3 cards. So we use Siren already. So now we have a Hopness here and a Siren here. So here, realistically, you can use the Hopness here and probably use the King of the Swamp. Put these to the bottom of the deck, and then you can make an invoked Kaliga in the EMZ. So, I mean, our board is extremely stacked, but at the same time, we did this with 2 cards. So the beauty of this deck is that you can play through multiple hand traps and multiple forms of negation and still be able to end on something. And even before that, like, your opponent has a Book of Moon monster, you have a pop off of Paralino, and you still have the Winda, Kaliga, Drago, Stapelia, the Holy Trinity, right? And we also have beaters on the field that we can use because all fusions and Tearlaments are buffed by the field spell. So trying to OTK your opponent is actually insane. And now there's no reason for me to show you kind of like the 4-card combo or the 5-card combo, because the combo lines really don't change because this deck is slightly RNG based. And most of the time, if you have 3 cards that you can play, you want 2 hand traps in your hand anyways. But let's move over to the deck profile and end this video. All right, so for the deck profile, we are playing double Rhinohearts, and the reason I only play 2 is we already have multiple copies of Rhinoheart because Paralino, Terraforming, they're all Rhinoheart, and Rhinoheart in multiples is not that good because if you don't have cards in your hand to, you know, pitch to summon this out from the graveyard, it's really not that great, okay? Next, we're playing triple Tearlaments Merely. Merely is insane in conjunction with Kikalos, as you saw in the combo tutorial. Next, we're playing Siren, which is kind of like an extender plus like pray to RNG Jesus. Siren is a special summon that mills 3 and also dumps a card from your hand to the graveyard, which is really, really nice because you can proc multiple effects that way. All right, next, we're playing triple Hopness. The great thing about Hopness is you can make on your opponent's turn, like your opponent's turn 1, so your turn 0, you can play turn 0 with Hopness in your hand, because if you mill correctly, you can make a turn 0 window, which is bonkers, okay? Next, we're playing triple King of the Swamp. This card I feel like is a must-have in this deck, because 1, you can discard it into the graveyard to add Poly into your hand, which is insanely powerful, because if they, you know, sort of like dimension shifter you, you can still, like, you know, be able to Poly and then, you know, kind of have something on the board. But King of the Swamp is really good because it allows you to go into invoked Kaliga, which is insanely powerful, okay? Next, we are playing double Fallen of Albaz because we are playing a small branded package in this deck, and Fallen of Albaz is definitely one of the few cards that I do side out often, but being able to normal summon Fallen of Albaz, pitch a card to fuse is also pretty nice, okay? Now, for our Shaddoll package, we're running double Squamata, 1 Beast, and 1 Dragon. Now, I'm thinking about bumping up the Beast to 2 and play a 5-card Shaddoll package, because most of the time, if they can't answer your window, you're pretty much winning the game anyways, all right? So, now, for our hand trap lineup, really simple. We're playing triple Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, because it's just insanely good against every matchup in the format right now. We're playing triple DD Crow, and that's about it. So that's it for our hand trap lineup. There really isn't much room because you're playing 3 different engines, and if you count hand traps as an engine themselves, that's a lot of cards, okay? So the only cards that I would maybe put in and like replace the, I don't know, just throw 3 in is probably Imperm, okay? Now, for our spell cards, we're playing 3 of the field spell. The field spell is insane because it does 3 things. 1, it's a Rhoda to search you Rhinoheart. 2, it buffs Tearlaments and fusion monsters. And 3, when an Aqua gets put back into the deck, it'll pop a card. Literally one of the most broken field spells I've ever read, okay? Next, we're playing triple Brand Diffusion. Brand Diffusion is like almost a 1-card combo starter that also fuels your graveyard with whatever else you may need. So Brand Diffusion, I feel like, is the way to play it until the Ishizu cards come out, okay? Next, we're playing triple Crossout Designator. You'll lose to DD Crow, Ash, and Dark Ruler. That's why we're playing triple Crossout, so we don't lose to those cards, right? Next, we're playing double Polymerization. We don't want to play a 3rd because, you know, you don't want to ever run into the old Shaddoll problem where you open too many of the, like, the fusion spell cards and not enough gas, okay? Next, we're playing double Dark Ruler No More in the main deck. 1, it's a Crossout target. 2, you're not always going to win the dice roll, okay? So that's why we're main decking 2 Dark Ruler, 1 Called By, 1 Terraforming, 1 Foolish, and 1 Instant Fusion. So these are our power 1-ofs. Instant Fusion is a 1-card combo, Foolish is a 1-card combo, and Terraforming is also a 1-card combo. So it's kind of insane. Now, for our traps, we're playing 1 Sullic and 1 Meta Noise. We're not playing the Crime right now, but I still think that Crime is a really decent card for you to have in the main deck, all right? So let's quickly move over to the extra deck. Now, we are playing double Kid Kalos. Kid Kalos is, again, insane in conjunction with Merely, but insane in conjunction with any other card as well, okay? Next, we're playing double Kaleido Heart. Realistically, you could play Mass Change 2 in this deck and then remove a Collider Heart and play 1 Dark Law, but that's a topic for another day, all right? Next, we're playing double Drago Stapelia. Drago Stapelia, I think, is a staple fusion card for you to have in the upcoming format. Next, we're playing double Winda. A lot of people are playing one, but if they Dark Will your Winda and you can make another one, you're probably having a good day, all right? Next, we're playing the one Invoked Kaliga that we can summon off of King of the Swamp. Next, because we play Poly, we are playing a Guardian Chimera. We're playing Millennium's Eyes Restrict, which is also another card that we can make with King of the Swamp, because King of the Swamp will replace the Relinquished, and it will also replace Alistair the Invoker, right? Now, for our branded package, we're playing 1 Lubellion and 1 Mirror Jade, and that's our fusion lineup. And to round out our extra deck, we're playing Time Thief Redoer and the Zeus. Redoer is really good because it detaches for effect. So when you have Siren and Rhino Heart underneath it, you can use this effect. And if you detach the Siren, you can use a Siren effect in the graveyard. And Zeus is basically for when we beef up Redoer to like 18 million materials, we have an infinite Zeus. Now for our side deck, we're not going to really get into it for now because I haven't really perfected it. But the main deck and the extra deck I think are pretty solid right now. So give it a test and let me know in the comment section down below if it worked for you and what cards you're playing in the side to make it even spicier. All right, guys, that's it for me today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you thought about the combos, the deck profile, and the theory behind it. Also, if you guys need any TCG accessories like deck boxes, play mats, sleeves, or pins, head over to HeadtoHeadBattles.com. That's probably the best way to support us directly. All right, guys. So I've taken up way too much of time already. My name is Susu from Head to Head Battles, signing out.
What's up, guys? If you haven't subscribed, make sure to click that button right there in the middle.
Also, if you haven't watched that video that YouTube is recommending you, it's probably crazy, all right? Go watch it. This is Susu from Head to Head Battles,
Head to Head Battles,
signing out.